Ready when you are, Mr. Jesse.
Do you want me to make a comment about the title real quickly?
Yes,
We're live! Yay!
There it is. Yay! Welcome everyone to Fine, I'll Watch It. This is what the show is really all about this week. We are going to be reviewing, just like we do everything going on in Nerd, or most things going on in Nerd. So this week we will be reviewing Madam Web.
No, it says Madam Web.
Madam?
Yes.
Madam?
That's how much we care about this movie. We can't even spell it correctly.
Oh, well.
Fuck
it's fine.
that movie.
We don't care.
Spoiler.
Spoilers. Yeah, spoilers. This is going to be low. James is going to give it a 2, though. I am Smokin, phat.
I am Matt Christy.
And with us, the ever-present James Kopp.
He ditched out on us, so we didn't have to watch this piece of shit.
But we say here and now, when Craven comes out, we will be doing a watch-along to make James watch this fucking movie with us.
I would rather watch Rebel Moon Part 1 again.
Well, we're going to do 2 soon, so that's going to be...
It's in April.
So, we are here to review Madam Web. I suppose we might as well get right into it. Should we start with the good stuff?
Is there good stuff?
Okay, I have a couple good things to say. Okay.
All right, it's all you. Go.
I do think that there was some cool special effects in this. I don't think they all hit, but I do. Whereas some of the Marvel movies have been obviously lacking, She-Hulk, I don't think that was a problem in this movie. I think that the things looked good. I think that some of the representations that we got of Madam Web from the comics that were things that were taken straight out of comics were kind of cool. Ideas, kind of cool in some ways. And that's all I have to say. That's it. That's it for the good. How about you?
Poor Adam Scott.
Yeah. Okay, well, yeah.
That
was one good
poor
thing.
Adam Scott. I'm sure he signed on to a different movie.
Well, apparently everyone signed on to a different movie.
Sure.
Due to the
I don't think the actor who played Ezekiel signed on to a different movie. The actor who played Ezekiel. I think he just recorded dialogue for a different movie.
Yeah. Yeah. What if Spider-Man but French guy?
What if Spider-Man but we dub it in French and then try to redub it in English and it doesn't match the lip movement at all?
Yeah. So let's just get into this because this movie was just bad. This movie was just... I walked in after seeing this movie and, I couldn't spoil anything because Jesse was going to see it later on that night. But I walked in and first thing that I said, and I've heard it said several times before, it felt like a pilot for a TV show in 2003, like The Birds of Prey or that shitty X-Men, except it had good special effects. Like the special effects bill was paid on the movie. But other than that, dialogue, just tropes throughout, all from a real shitty, stuff that we used to have to endure as nerds. And we were fine with it. And I said the same thing. It felt like something that would come after Buffy or Charmed. Both shows that I love. But if they came out as they were today, I would not tolerate that. And I don't think we should tolerate shit like this either.
I only argue that we enjoy that type of dialogue being a false statement because I don't know that I necessarily enjoy that type of dialogue. That's just the type of dialogue that there was in the late 90s,
That's exactly what I'm saying. If they tried to pull that shit, shit today, I would not tolerate it. But being of the time where it was best we did, which they did, and we're not, you know what I mean? And I think that across the board, like this movie, even though it got all of our money here, abysmal. Like what it didn't even do, it's like single digits over the opening weekend.
So I went and saw this on Saturday, and I texted my wife when I bought my seat ticket that the theater was nearly full in terms of what was sold for seats, and I'm just like, the
Same.
hell, the fuck,
Same.
people. People brought kids. White women tried to laugh at things in the movie. It was just.
I went on Valentine's Day. Me and my kid, we went on Valentine's Day, and it was the same. It was a pretty full. It was not a big theater, but it was a full theater. But yeah, I didn't see anybody. I didn't hear anyone very excited about anything that was going on. Let me tell you how much bullshit it was for what the trailer showed you that this movie was going to be, as to what it turned out to be. I mean, spoilers for this movie, which you should not give your money to at all.
No.
All the superpowered other spider women, girls, whatever, it's all flash forward. Dreams, maybe shit happens.
Yeah.
Doesn't show you how they get their powers. They don't get their powers. It's just like someday they're going to have powers. Doesn't even allude to how they might get their powers, I don't believe.
They just will.
They just will.
They'll just have them.
And she becomes blind, and the comic accurate version of Madam Web for, what did you say, Jesse? She got hit in the head with the Pepsi logo because Pepsi paid a lot of money in this movie. Let's just say.
Oh boy, did
they. A lot.
Oh boy, did they. So people complain all the time about fight sequences being cut so much it doesn't look like. Oh shit, we got some Pepsi money too. Hey. Sweet, I love Pepsi. Don't pay attention to what I'm drinking. I love.
We
Pepsi.
Actually got 2 cans of Pepsi for this advertisement right here.
No, so
Jesse and I had to share. So
yeah, people complain all the time about fight scenes being cut just to death. You can't really follow the action, everything else like that, right? Well, take that concept and put it to an ambulance drive sequence.
Oh, God.
And multiply the number of cuts you would see in the normal thing by like 50. Because they couldn't hold a shot longer than a second and a half. And it just kept cutting and cutting and cutting and cutting. And this movie apparently was in D-Box and everything like that. And all I could think of after the fact was that if I sat in it, and apparently Jay did, I would have gotten whiplash because I felt like it would have just shook every single time the film cut.
Well, if I'm completely honest, it put me to sleep for about 20 minutes in the middle of the movie. And it was the best part.
And while I say that happened near the intro, it's not the only time it happened. It happened all throughout the movie. It's just they just kept cutting to shots like so haphazardly and so quickly. It's like they didn't. Somebody was pissed at somebody in the editing room and made them do all this work. And as somebody who has edited film and edited video before, that takes a shit long period of time to cut that many times and put that many pieces together. And our producer Jesse can attest to that as well for the things that he's done in the past. For just this, like little short videos where he doesn't cut a whole lot, it still takes a long time. It's just.
Oh yeah. It was. I mean, this movie was just an absolute mess. I mean, let's just kind of go through kind of the motions. It starts off with Jesse's favorite part, the araña, right? Did I say it right? The araña. Araña. There we go. Yeah, the spider Mexicans that live in the trees. And they come and...
That's not racist at all.
They, spider South Americans. Okay, I'm sorry. All right?
Spider Peruvians.
I mean, just every bit of it, the reveal. I'm looking for this thing. I'm looking for this special thing in this special forest that's going to cure cancer. And I'm pregnant. And here's this guy. And he's obviously the fucking bad guy. And hey, spider Mexicans come down and save me instead of saving the fucking thing that they don't want to get away. Because for some reason, 18 of them can only get this pregnant lady out of here. And then we're going to have what's his name?
Character name or
no? What's the fucking Submariner fucking plot from goddamn Black Panther happen? And then it's like, okay, now you know, hey, we gave this little white girl powers, and How did she get fucking back? Who the fuck knows? Like, it's just jump, 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 jump. Trope, 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 trope. And now, oh, I'm an ambulance driver, but I don't really care about people. Okay. Now all these fucking bitches are here. I gotta care about them. They're all gonna have powers someday. Have some weird, like, psychic Tourette's. It's fucking retarded. Sorry.
My laughter was, dude, I didn't laugh at the movie when this happened. I laughed internally in my head for how fucking stupid it was. The pregnancy reveal as her mom like turns sideways to the camera and slowly pulls back her shirt to show that she has a bulge in her belly.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck? Who gave you that acting direction?
I feel bad because I take my 12-year-old to this and I believe that I am just making him a cynic, because the whole movie I just turned to him and I was like, what the fuck is happening right now? What the fuck? And he's, you know, he's not as invested as us, and maybe, okay, well, I'm going to tell this story. So when I did come back here to after the movie, a customer comes in, a girl comes in, and she says, oh, I just told Jesse how much this was dog shit, right? This movie was dog shit. I just went and saw Madam Web. She fucking loved it. You know, and I'm just sitting there and trying not to say anything at all.
Was she white?
She was white.
Yes. There we go.
Yeah, she was white. She loved it. Claimed to be a big Marvel fan. Jesse, the asshole he is, Jared just went and watched this movie, and I couldn't resist. She was like, "Oh, what did you think?" I said it was the biggest piece of shit I ever saw in my life, and I just watched her die inside a little bit right then. It was felt good actually, but
you're doing the Lord's work.
Yeah. But yeah, she was confused about it, and so somebody likes this movie. I just don't understand that. I just don't understand that.
I'm sure she was a Dakota Johnson fan. I doubt she was a real Marvel fan if she liked this.
Yeah, I don't like gatekeeping like that, but it's, you know.
No. You can't be a real Marvel fan if you have high praise for Sony movies that don't contain Spider-Man himself. And I don't want to hear that you do see baby Peter Parker in this. Fuck that. He wasn't Spider-Man at the time. And why was that included in the movie anyway? I don't understand why that plot connection needed to happen.
Because they wanted to have an Uncle Ben. Marvel Spider-Man doesn't have an Uncle Ben. They have an Uncle Ben.
Which Spider-Man is this? Is this a fourth one?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Maybe. Well, no.
No, it was supposed to. It was supposed to once upon a time be Andrew Garfield.
What year was it? It was supposed to be
2003. 2003. It was supposed to be Andrew Garfield Spider-Man.
So he'd be 20.
But there's other things that happened along that made it not that anymore. So it was like, it's a fourth Spider-Man.
It's an alternate universe Tom Holland.
This movie can be in an alternate universe and be shot out to nowhere into the Sony Spider-Verse. No, because Sony actually has the Spider-Verse, and the Spider-Verse is actually decent. This is not. This is not.
Well, it goes into that Joker thing, just like you said. You know, having Peter Parker be a Spider-Man, like, I guess you don't really need Peter Parker Spider-Man to introduce a Madam Web, but because of how Madam Web is in the comics and everything like that, I think you kind of do need at least some sort of a Spider-Man.
You have 3 Spider-Women who aren't actually in the movie as a story plot line. You have a reverse Spider-Man as the villain.
And even if you went some tropes, you didn't need 3 Spider-Women. You could have had 1 Spider-Woman. You could have, okay, let me rewrite this movie real quick to make it worth it to me. And you can still do the fucking stupid Sony tropes that you like to do. Venom I didn't like. It makes you money, okay? And I understand you're doing it because of it. So let me just rewrite this. You have Madam Web, okay? She comes in, it's Dakota Johnson, do the stupid pregnant Spider-Mexicans at the beginning, whatever, okay? Do all that. But what you do is you have her not give a shit. She's got to save one Spider-Girl. Who is it? It's May Parker, all right? You have a Peter Parker. Make fucking Adam Scott Peter Parker instead, but you don't know if he was ever Spider-Man or not. Leave that ambiguous, okay? You got May Parker, his daughter, that Dakota Johnson has to do something. Kill off Peter Parker maybe at the beginning. But have her have to give a shit about that spider person, give them the fucking powers, let the origin be about that, but Madam Web nurturing that. You know what I mean? And give me old Madam Web that has to pass it on to her because you're skipping some shit. You know what I mean? At least it gives it some sort of a backstory.
You know, I realized the character arc of this villain was? The character arc of Ezekiel in this movie was steal spider, ? Become rich. It was that exact trope.
Yeah.
Because how did he get money? He has a spider. He got money. I don't know. What is his business? I don't know. How does he have all these connections? I don't know, because at the beginning of the movie, he was just this lowly guy who was hired on as a bodyguard for Cassandra's mom. It's like, what is he?
At least show that he's some sort of a mob boss or something. You know what I mean? Like that he used his muscle. Like, give me a reason that he is rich and powerful based on the shit he did at the beginning.
Yeah, because he straight up says in the beginning, all you people have a better life than me. I grew up in shit. And it's like, okay, so how does that mean you automatically have, like, apparently be one of the richest people in the world?
Yeah. And all you're doing is, how did he know that they were going to kill? He gets visions too, right?
It's his curse. It's his curse from stealing the spider. That was the explanation. He stole the spider. He was cursed.
But how did he know he was cursed? I don't remember.
Oh, he doesn't know. The Peruvian Spider-Man told Webb that was what happened when he stole the spider. He became cursed, and he just said when he woke up to the dream that we all saw that I've had this dream every single night. Like every single night since you got bit, every single night since you stole it, every single night just because
Spider-Man.
Because if you had this dream from the moment you stole that spider, maybe don't get bitten by the spider, and then it doesn't happen. I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, notoriously, if you paid attention, this movie was a mess from the beginning.
Yeah.
There was tons of issues with the shooting. Actors were lied to as to what Marvel universe they were going to be in, which, I only go so far as into that. Like, if you pay a little bit of a fucking attention, like, you should have known what Marvel universe you were in. So kind of fuck you on that. Like, you made bad decisions, bad business decisions.
Do you not pay attention to the socials because everybody made fun of Morbius? Did you not know Morbius belonged to Sony? I don't care if you saw the movie or not. I mean, I've seen it now twice. You've seen it 3 times. It's horrible. It's not as bad as this.
No.
Morbius is ironically
I believe I said
funny.
that last week.
Yes. Well, because you already went into the viewing with it having already seen Madam Web.
Yes.
So you had that foresight knowledge of knowing what we were getting into. But I mean, we could make fun of Morbius to a decent degree. I don't know that if we go about doing this, because apparently we're threatened with doing this later this year when it's released, before Craven comes out.
Oh no, we can definitely make fun of this. This shit it almost felt purposefully funny. Like, I was like, especially at that very beginning scene, like just watching the beats of what they went through, where it was just like my jaw continued to drop and I was like, are they fucking serious? It felt like a Saturday Night Live sketch for the first 15 minutes of this movie. I expected The Rock to come out dressed as fucking Toonces the Cat or some shit. I don't know. I just this movie was it screams what's the word that it screams corporate people fucking make decisions. It screams that the way through. People who have no idea what the fuck they're trying to do with these things. It feels almost that old Fantastic Four that they fucking made just to keep the license. You know what I mean? But they don't need to do that.
Is that like a Wolfenstein?
I know it does.
Print for Madam Web on that one, Jesse?
Yeah, Mein Führer Web. This is what it looks like. This is, it's just, I can't believe that they're doing it. I can't believe that they made this knowing that they didn't have to do that, because you already have a fucking Craven movie coming out this year, and you got,
Well, Craven was supposed to come out last year, let's be honest.
Fair enough.
It was supposed to come out last year, and it wasn't even really the strike that stopped it from coming out last year. It was just straight up, for some reason, somebody had a conscience that, wait a minute, maybe we shouldn't release this movie in the state that it's in. But when it came to Madam Web, like, fuck that previous thought. Just put this out there.
But I really don't understand how this movie gets put out. It kind of makes me go back and go and look at DC's decisions with that Batgirl movie, or where it's like, okay,
all right,
if they thought it was going to be this and they fucking canned it, then maybe, like, they put the Flash out. They probably should have fucking shelved that fucking thing too.
So let's go on a tangent real quickly. The Wile E. Coyote movie?
Yes. They got canned again.
Because even though they were going to let somebody else distribute it, Zaslav came and said, no, I want my tax write-off. Because Zaslav hates film.
Yeah.
Why he bought a corporation like this and doesn't want to put out things, I don't understand. But
there is a very sad thing to that, because a lot of people did work very hard on these things. A lot of people did, do their best, regardless of what the end. It is art. It is subjective. Again, look, I can smear shit on a wall and it's fucking art. All right? Technically. All right? It doesn't mean, it doesn't mean it's great.
Only because you get somebody to buy it for $100,000.
I mean, listen, if anybody is willing to buy smeared wall shit art, contact canoodlestudios@gmail.com. I will be happy to oblige. But I'm just saying that it's probably better than this movie. But I have a problem with shelving any kind of art like that. But once you put it into the world, like, we are able to give our fucking subjective opinions as well. So,
Did you hear the most ironic news story of the week?
I mean, I don't know. What is it? The Smirnoff dude?
No.
Was the Trump thing?
No,
Okay.
no. Between Disney and Sony. All right, so in case you at home haven't heard about this yet, Disney has given all physical media distribution rights over to Sony.
For all Spider-Man stuff?
All Disney physical media will now be distributed into stores only by Sony. Oh. Disney will not be handling the distribution of their own movies, TV shows, etc., physical versions of it. Disney still handles its digital release of it, but Sony's going to be handling the physical media release all Disney products, current, future, and past. And that takes place sometime later this year. Yeah,
but, I mean, most places, like Best Buy, is dropping all physical media. Most stores are dropping all physical media, so that doesn't...
I understand, but still, just giving over to Sony is like... It's like, why are you letting Sony make money off your property? Just let them die out and buy them out like you did Fox, and then...
And then what, though?
Then you own Spider-Man!
I know, but isn't this a good thing?
Oh, them owning Spider-Man? Yes, it is.
Owning Spider-Man, but owning all of Sony? What else does that come with?
It comes with all the other video game franchises to make movies out of.
Final Fantasy?
No, they don't own the video games, the movies.
Yeah, I know, but Final Fantasy, right?
Raven Nest pregnancy
Go
care.
to Raven Nest Pregnancy Care at TikTok.
What was
It's
that?
a little shameless plug for Raven. You know Raven.
But you get Spider-Man, you get all of this.
Yeah, I know.
And then you don't have to do any of this. Because now you can do things proper.
I know. I would feel that way if we were talking about Disney, Marvel 5 years ago. But in the current time that I am right now, like, even though I hate this, I'm not totally on board with consolidation of everything.
Well,
I would like them to just get Spider-Man back.
Okay.
Let Sony go do their own thing.
So we'll talk about this again in July.
Okay.
And we'll talk about this again next year.
Okay.
When Fantastic Four release.
Okay.
Because if Disney does so much better with these properties than Fox has been doing for the past decade, at least decade, maybe a little bit less than that, especially with Fantastic Four, then turning it all over to one studio would be a good idea.
Okay, I disagree that Fantastic Four is the watermark. Okay, that Fantastic Four is not hard to do better than what they've done, especially last time. What's tough to do better is Deadpool 3. If this Deadpool 3 movie is the best of the 3 Deadpool movies, then okay. And it's got to be more than I'm just throwing all these fucking people in the movie. Look at, a lot of people are going back and looking at No Way Home now and going, it's not the best of the Spider-Man movies. It had cool shit because we got all these people that we wanted to see in it, but, you know, as far as a movie, not the best of the 3 Spider-Man.
No, because it had way too much going on, too many characters to try to put into.
Fair enough.
But still, I mean, they still put it.
So the Deadpool 3, I think, is the real, like, that's the determiner for me. Is how does this fucking do? As you know, I think it has to fall at least in the middle. It has to be at least in the middle for me to really be confident.
I think Deadpool's advantage over No Way Home is that No Way Home had to bring everybody together in a cohesive manner. Deadpool does not. Deadpool can throw people away as jokes, a la Deadpool 2 with Brad Pitt.
Right. But the Deadpool movies, as absurd as they both were, because after that trailer came out, I went back and watched both of them.
Mm-hmm.
And the fucking movies have heart.
Yeah.
And they're real fucking good movies, to the point of almost like Tony Stark style character arc through that, you know, through the Infinity Saga, like good movie on top of all the other absurdity. Are they going to be able to do that in 3, or are they going to throw away the storyline with the characters? Are they going to learn the wrong lessons from the first 2 is my question.
I think by the fact that they called it Deadpool and Wolverine as opposed to Deadpool 3, excuse me, which means they're already on a track to show where their commitment is to character in that movie. That's what it seems to me.
Still think they should have called it Deadpool and Friends.
Well, see, now Deadpool and Friends would be one where it's a matter of now we're just putting everybody together and seeing.
But if you throw it out there, just like you said, though, if you throw it out there and don't give a fuck about the characters, but the story has heart, the more absurd the name is, the better.
Well, they did market the Deadpool 2 as being X-Force heavy, and we all know how that turned out.
True.
Hilarious.
Yes.
But still, that's how it turned out. So, I mean, they don't care at certain times. They do know what their story is, and we get a lot more Wolverine. Great. We get maybe 20% of the movie Wolverine. That's fine too, because they'll be together.
I got a feeling it's going to be pretty Wolverine heavy. But,
I'm sure.
Okay, let's rate this fucking thing, and then let's talk about future Sony stuff that we have coming up this year. So, Matt.
Jesse, what is the rating for this? Can you just put one on screen for me, please?
Because it's going to be based on...
Oh, my God. Dr. Emmett Scott. Or Emmett Brown. What, is that the full or half?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, So for me, it's none of those. Absolutely zero. Absolutely, absolutely zero. I just because you throw things together, claim you have a through storyline, which I guess is a through storyline, but I don't know. I'd be hard pressed to tell you what it really is. Even more hard pressed than to tell you what Morbius' story is.
Yeah, Morbius' story. Morbius at least took the basic origin story and kind of applied it just terribly. Yeah. But they did that. This took a bunch of different tropes, applied them haphazardly at best, and made a fucking movie.
So we've been talking as if people are actually going to see this movie around the time that we're talking about this right here. Since that's not going to be the case.
Yeah, you either saw it or you're not going to see it.
Let me tell you something. The climax of this movie takes place in a fireworks factory.
On top of one.
On top of a fireworks factory, in a fireworks factory. Mm-hmm. That's where the Pepsi sign is. The Pepsi sign is located at a fireworks factory in New York. Look it up. It's totally what's going on right there.
The hero of the story manifests powers in the moment. She Mary Sues the fuck out of it, and just all of a sudden has the powers to win. And then all of a sudden she gets hit in the head, and then she's a blind lady like from the comics, and it's just it's absurd. I'm gonna give this. Well, first of all, James Kopp is going to also give this a 2.
Yes.
Because it's what he gives the worst movies. I think he's going to give it a 1.5, actually, just so we can get that. No. I'm going to give it a half. I'm going to give it a half simply because I think that other than the fact it is a 2003 television pilot for the most part, with all the things that is terribly, it still feels like they spent a lot of money on the special effects for this. I did like it. Even though the Mary Sue moment at the end with her, all of a sudden I have web psychic powers, whatever fucking bullshit, like it looked cool. The only thing that I didn't like about it and wouldn't give me a full 1 for just the special effects is the girls' suits. When you had those fucking things, those looked fucking awful. The powers looked cool, but the suits looked fucking terrible. They looked Green Lantern.
And the problem is that the suits themselves were actually physical.
No, it looked real bad.
No. I'm not saying they didn't look bad. I'm just saying that their actual wearing suits were physical suits.
Yeah, but they put way too much extra bullshit on top of it. Yeah, for sure. It was fucking terrible.
The manifestation of 3 Madam Webs or 3 extra Madam Webs at the end of this movie. Okay, so it was set up in a scene where she goes back to Peru and talks to the spider people, and where he tells her that some if you develop your powers enough, you'll be able to be in more than one place physically at the same time. In my head, it's like, okay, so she's going to be able to kind of just be in spaces with people either by occupying in somebody else's body or controlling time, manipulating time in such a way that she can physically be in 2 spaces at one time. Not she's going to stand on top of the Pepsi sign and create 3 ghost images right then and there. That's
just like Kylie Jenner, bro. Just like Kylie Jenner. Saving the world with a Pepsi.
Physical manifestation ability to manipulate objects in the real world.
If Kylie Jenner can end the war between cops and black people with a Pepsi, Madam Web can. That's all I'm saying. Pepsi, choice of a new generation. Can you put that sign back up? Can you give us the Pepsi sign again?
The Pepsi sign.
Yeah.
Any of the Pepsi signs.
I need you to send this to Pepsi and see if we can get a couple bucks for it.
In conclusion, fuck this movie.
Yeah. So what do we think about Craven? How is this going to fit in with Craven at all? Do you think that they
No.
skipped this movie completely and it never existed? Or do you think that there's a Craven tie? Because we did, or is it Craven going to tie in with Morbius?
So Morbius, in trying to use the goodwill that was the Venom movie, did do that reference point to Venom
twice, and they also had Michael Keaton.
Oh God, the lost plot point that'll never resurface itself in the history of anything. So it seems that Sony's just trying to put Spider-Man adjacent properties out in theaters. This is the same tactic that Fox was doing with both X-Men and Fantastic Four. They were putting things out to try to retain the licensing. How Universal was able to maintain distribution rights of the Hulk as a movie, I don't know, because not like Universal was doing anything with that character, but somehow they managed to maintain the rights the entire time.
They had they did some sort of a different deal. It's kind of an in perpetuity thing.
Yeah, that's like, how do you work that deal? And I don't know. Anyway.
I mean, Marvel was going bankrupt and they were like,
oh no, I understand what happened,
take the money.
But it's like,
yeah.
but it's like we structured different deals. I was like, oh, okay, whatever. I don't know on Craven right now. And the reason I don't know is because ever since the original trailer has shown, they haven't shown anything.
They showed a second trailer for that one.
It was still part of this. It was still the same timeline of when it was going to release last year. They have not shown a trailer since the movie got canceled out of its spot and pushed for a full year.
Because when does that come out? We have
it comes out in October.
Craven is in August. End of August.
Okay, end of August. Oh, sorry, it was October last year. It was supposed to come out in August this year. So, will it have anything to do with Madame Web? No. Will it have anything to do with Morbius? Maybe, but probably not anymore. It probably was going to have some sort of mention, but it's probably not going to have anything to do with it anymore.
Is it going to introduce the Spider-Man that they introduced in this, though?
Absolutely not.
You don't think you're going to have a Tom Holland alternate universe Spider-Man in this?
I think Spider-Man is going to be mentioned at the very end of the movie.
Craven.
At the very end of Craven. It's not going to be at all evident which Spider-Man it's being referenced.
Why does this Craven give a fuck about a Spider-Man? Craven's hunting Spider-Man because he thinks he's like the new prey, an animal. This Craven doesn't hunt animals. He's friend to it. He's druid. He's a fucking druid from Baldur's Gate.
Is he still?
Halcyon.
Is he still though?
Halcyon the Hunter.
Is he still though?
Is he still what?
That is he? Yes, he was in the original trailers.
I
but
think
is he still that though?
I don't know. They jerked off that fucking story a lot. They had him out there talking about it. How do you make in this day and age? I mean, again, without a Spider-Man, how are you doing a Craven movie where you make the protagonist a big game hunter? Eric Trump. You're making Eric Trump your fucking protagonist in this movie. How? How are you doing that? You can't. You can't make that the movie.
That's the movie they were making.
No, they were making I am a fucking social justice warrior for fucking PETA movie where he loves animals and he got a transfusion from a lion and now he's fucking the guy from Eurovision that we just watched. Look at whatever, Dan, whatever his name is.
Look, if DC can do that to Aquaman for creating a better world. I mean, Aquaman is a character.
No, but Aquaman doesn't hunt whales. He's not like fucking cutting whales up and fucking turning it into fucking makeup products.
But it's all about making the world a greener place. That's the Aquaman nowadays.
The Aquaman has always been that.
I know. I understand that.
That's a good thing. I'm talking about Craven has been the opposite of that. And how do you make... I understand how you make him the bad guy, but how do you make him the protagonist without doing that? I just don't think they're changing that much.
How do you make Morbius a protagonist?
because Morbius was already a sympathetic thing because he was trying to cure himself, turning himself into the living vampire. Same as in the comics. He was Kurt Connors. Most of Spider-Man's villains are that. You know what I'm saying? Most of them are. Kraven's not. Kraven offs his fucking self because he's such a giant piece of shit. It's the best Kraven story there is. He's a piece of shit and he shoots his fucking self.
You know what would be funny? Is if there was another Kraven at the very beginning of this movie.
Oh, no!
And then...
Fuck you! Fuck all that.
And then his dad...
worse than the turn pregnant.
And then Russell Crowe is actually the son of the original Kraven.
No. Honestly, if they have Russell Crowe's dad off himself at the beginning,
No. Not Russell Crowe.
No, it's got to be Russell Crowe.
Crowe's dad. No. Somebody else plays his dad. That's who offs himself.
I want to see Russell Crowe fucking off himself because he can't catch Spider-Man at the beginning. And then his son is Cool Guy Kraven. That's what we call him now. Cool Guy Kraven. He loves animals. He's got lion's blood. Rawr. Yeah, fuck that.
Kraven should be better than this movie we just watched. Should be. They've had an extra year to deal with it. Here's the other thing about Kraven. I think Sony realized that because it was going to release in October, and you had your entire 2023 video game lineup based upon a game that had Kraven as the main antagonist.
Mm-hmm.
That you didn't want to cross that with each other. So they got scared, pushed it away.
Look.
I'm hoping they do something different than what we've seen in the trailers.
Here's another one that I'll throw to fucking Sony. Be smart. Do it like this. You own the rights to all these Spider-Man characters. Cool. All right? That's cool. You don't really do well with Spider-Man. Let Marvel have Spider-Man. Great. Let Marvel play with their own versions of all your characters as long as they're giving you money. Great. What you do, since Marvel's already introduced it, multiverse, you say, in my universe, the good guys are bad guys, the bad guys are good guys. And you flip it. And you tell everyone up front that's what you're doing. Then do all this bullshit and make the good guys fucking bad guys and the bad guys good guys. And then at the end, make your fucking Thanos Peter Parker Spider-Man is the fucking bad guy, the main bad guy pulling all the fucking strings. Do it. Give us something we've not seen in the comics. Treat it with fucking respect, but that you're doing a flip the script thing. People will love that. People understand that it's a different thing.
Well, they've tried that with Venom.
They didn't. They didn't come out and say, hey, we understand we don't own this shit. We're going to come out and do all this.
They said it. I'm saying that they tried it with Venom.
No, they didn't. They didn't try
not on the list, because I have not seen confirmation that it's actually going to take place. Venom 3 is supposedly coming out this year.
Yeah, I don't know if it is.
I don't believe it is going to come out this year.
I've heard nothing about anything.
Yep, exactly.
So,
but I think the strike affected it, and I think they're rethinking certain parts of it, and they're pushing it back to next year. But
you would at least have casting by now if it was coming out.
It's still on the dock. It's supposedly for coming out this year. I think because of what happened at the end of No Way Home, that something along those lines is going to happen, what you just said.
Well, then I want my check.
My opinion is, and I think I said it last week, for as bad as The Amazing Spider-Man 2 was, you ended the movie with the great segue into a Sinister Six universe.
Did you?
Did you? You don't have to use the same actors. Use that as a jumping off point to do something with everybody else.
Nah. Let those die. Do your Andrew Garfields and your Tobey Maguires in your Secret Wars over at Marvel. They're doing all the multiverse shit. I'm seriously just saying, hey, come out, Sony. say, hey, you guys like the Venom movies? Okay, cool. Guess what? That's the shit that's out there. You could probably redeem Morbius even in this. Fuck everything else. Maybe Craven might be something you could roll into it. Just come out and say, hey, in this universe, there is all the good guys are bad guys and the bad guys are good guys. That's it. Boom. That's it. You could even later on bring in Tom Holland as the Spider-Man, or Tobey Maguire, or Andrew Garfield, whatever fucking one you want to. It doesn't have to be the one from those other movies. You've already created the thing. You're saying what you're doing. You start getting people in that creative sphere. This is the universe we're creating. Let's fucking do it. It's never been done before. So you can respect. You can kind of retell a lot of Spider-Man storylines through other characters in that way, having the villains be the good guys and the good guys be the villains. It would be very interesting. It's never been done before. You have the opportunity to do it.
2 words. Japanese Spider-Man.
Hell yeah.
There we go.
Bring him in. That's the main one.
Gun-wielding Spider-Man with webs and just fucking kicks ass. That's your villain. Japanese Spider-Man.
You could wear a little fucking tie every once in a while with a jacket going with his...
Well, Madam Web was a movie that was released in theaters.
It was. Not worth watching.
No.
Wait until it comes out for free on something.
Don't even then.
No, because we're gonna make James watch it later. So when it comes out on for free, you can watch it with James and watch him die. He has to watch this.
Yes. No,
it's not fair.
He does
This
have to
isn't
watch
fair.
this. He does have to watch this. Next week, we're gonna start talking about Avatar a little bit.
We will. I did start watching Avatar a little bit. Looks gorgeous. It's good. I mean, it's good. They're doing things a little bit differently, like not really differently. Kind of. I haven't watched the cartoon in a long time, but it seems like they're doing a few things in different order.
Well, you have to streamline it because you only have eight episodes for the season, and
I feel like, and I'm not 100% sure. I feel like they started differently. They started with a little bit more of Aang's backstory, and it was very good, very emotional. Looks really good. The fight scenes are amazing. I'm loving it so far.
I will start watching it this weekend.
How many episodes is it?
It's 8, and they're about an hour long each. So.
And it gets us about through what the movie got through, right?
I didn't watch the movie I didn't watch the movie on purpose. Yeah, it's about the time where, from what I saw in the description, where the Fire Nation makes a move that isn't their coup de grace move. They start making the move. So
and possibly coming soon, a watch party for Avatar: The Last Airbender movie coming soon. Sounds like you have to watch that one. So anyways, guys, thank you for joining us. I am Smokin' Fat J.
I'm Matt Christy.
Make sure you like, subscribe, and follow us on all your favorite social medias. For James Kopp, we'll see you guys next time on Fine, I'll Watch It.
Bye.